It's been 3 weeks since my beloved passed away, and grieving process. Are you guys going through a grieving process? Have you lost someone that you love? It's amazing, all the layers of emotions that get unraveled and activated, and what we have to cleanse in order to go through a process of losing the love of our life or someone that we love dearly. Today, after a breathwork session from doing the grief work, it was amazing feeling of being lost when you're so close to somebody and you're so entangled and entwined, almost, or your souls are merged from being so close and living together and just having a life together. It's like you have to reinvent yourself. You have to figure out who you are all over again. Your identity has to be reestablished, and you have to go through a whole new process of integration, much like that of doing any kind of psychedelic healing work where it releases trauma. This is deeper and more intense than probably anything you could ever go through. It's like the change of death and rebirth, and having witnessed someone go through taking their last breath is almost the same as witnessing someone take their first breath, a baby coming into the world. It's a whole new world, and the intensity of emotions are just as strong, maybe probably stronger with the death of someone than the birth of someone, but it is a change, and we have to go through an entire process to adapt to that change. And adapting to a change at that level is significantly profound. So I know it would be really important to just talk about this, because I have spoken about the grieving process in the past with other family members of mine. The last 2 years, I've had other family members that passed away, and I had to go through a grieving process with them. And now I know, like, what to do. There are ways to work through this process. There are ways of healing oneself through a grieving process. It's not easy. It's a lot of work, but it can be done. And we can't turn it off. Especially if you're sensitive or you're in touch with your emotions, or you've been on the spiritual path for a long time and you've already done a lot of clearing work. Your heart's already open, so you can't go back and turn it off. So once you start to heal in that way, the best thing to do is just to honor it and to just experience whatever it is that you need to experience. So I do breath work now. So breathwork sessions are very powerful for healing, for releasing emotions trapped in the body, for trauma, for grief, for inner child work, for ancestral healing work, and also for creation and manifesting and working through, like, bringing in what you want to bring in. And at this time, it's letting go and releasing and unraveling layers. So we're unraveling the layers of the energy body, of the psyche, of the emotional self. And when you do breath work, you set an intention. Just like in Tantra, you set an intention before you do a healing session. In breath work, you set an intention of what it is you want to let go of or what you want to bring in. And whatever you set the intention for, it actually manifests. So you actually release what you set the intention for releasing. It's very powerful. So, just set the intention of what you want to let go of. What do you want to let go of? What do you want to release What do you want to clear from yourself? What do you need to accept more of? Who do you need to forgive? You know, what energies in your body need to let go of the hold that they have on you, or the pain that might be causing you. The breathwork can help to release all of this. So, the breathwork really helped me to stay grounded and centered so that I could help my beloved during the stages of his weakening and of his body failing, as I supported him to try and live and keep his body going with holistic methods. But he wasn't open to any of those until like right before the end. And so the best method that supported me to be able to hold space for him was the breath work. I would not have been able to function without the breath work. It helped me to just stay grounded and to continue to just love him as much as I could love him all the way until his last breath. And I was there with him for his last breath. Those last few hours, I was alone with him. And we had a very powerful experience, and I just held him and loved him and gave him Reiki and breathed with him and prayed. I did the Gayatri mantra and prayed. I had a saint call us, and he prayed. So the breath work is just very powerful. And now that he's left this realm and chose to go into another realm, I feel him all the time, and I can continue to do the breath work that will help me to unravel my own thoughts and feelings and opinions and the ego beliefs, which, when you're grieving the death of a loved one, you're not only grieving the death of a loved one, but you're grieving the emotions associated with that relationship that you have within you. So it could actually access deeper inner child wounds or deeper inner core self issues that are a part of who you are and kept the relationship going. And it's very powerful for healing oneself, not just grieving and saying goodbye to someone, but it's actually working on a very deep core part of yourself. So, and I would love to talk more. I'm a little tired, so it's the end of the day. I was going to do this earlier, but I was on the phone all day today talking to friends, which was great. There's many different things that we can do, that one can do to support themselves through the process of grieving. And it comes in waves. Grieving comes in waves, comes and goes. And it's just important to just acknowledge it when it comes. And just honor the feelings. And if you need to talk to somebody, to just reach out and talk to somebody, call somebody, call a friend, write, do your journaling. Dance. And the somatic stress release therapy is also very, very powerful. It's very, very powerful. It's another modality I would love to talk about that I'm now doing, that I've completed the training in, and it helps to incorporate many, many, many different types of practices that I can merge with it. And I will definitely talk more about that. But yeah. So just wanted to share a brief update about grief and what it means, and Your shamanic healing is so powerful. But I'll talk more about that later. All right, have a great night.